Hello and welcome to this video tutorial, this exploration on NLP Neuro-Linguistic Programming. My name is Cameron Beddy. I am the trainer for the Mind-Body Method. I run certification courses, training people in NLP, coaching and hypnosis. Everything shifted in 2020 with the way that we were training, and I wanted to give you this opportunity to learn a bit more about NLP, a bit more about the courses so that you can sample and experience some of the training, but also understand how it's set up. It's actually worked a lot better online with people training on Zoom from the comfort of their own home, logging in, joining me and the rest of the group, learning the material and having so much practice in the breakout rooms, really building up their experience as coaches and practitioners, but also building up their confidence in using the skills for themselves as they get to feel it, experience it, before they then go and apply it professionally, personally, and with the people that they're working with. So as I work as a coach, I specialize in anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. I also use hypnosis to work a lot with insomnia and addictions. I work with people who want motivation, general life coaching, business building. There's such a wide spectrum that you can work on and with utilizing these coaching skills. I work with people from all walks of life, including people from TV shows including Love Island, The X Factor, Made in Chelsea, and This Morning. I also work with a lot of NHS nurses and teenagers utilizing all of these skills. In this video, what you're going to get is an excellent explanation about NLP. You're going to experience some of the techniques, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the training. So I'm going to share the screen with you now and bring up my slides to show you a bit more about NLP. So it's an accelerated training. What that means is before you actually start the training, you get the whole course as an audio study. So the whole course, pretty much like a podcast, is sent to you. You access it online. Some people listen to it while they're working out, while they're cleaning. Some people sit and take notes. It basically introduces you to the themes, the ideas, the concepts of NLP and also each technique. You've then got that audio study to revisit as often as you require to help build your knowledge. But ideally, you want to listen to as much of it before the training starts. Even though I have had some people who've signed up 2 days before a training starts, that's absolutely fine. But it gives you the opportunity to start your learning. And what that does is then on the training, it allows us to be very practical and put the learning into practice so that you can be coached, you can practice being a practitioner and working as a coach with the people on the training. So it's an accelerated course. It's a practitioner certification approved and accredited by ABNLP, which is a worldwide accreditation, and also approved training by ANLP, the UK NLP board. It's a brilliant self-development opportunity, not just an opportunity to learn skills for a new career or even an existing career, but with my training in particular, you get to experience the power of each technique, each method on yourself. You get to understand how you can use all of these skills on a daily basis in your own life with your goals, with your own mental and emotional health, let alone thinking about working with other people. So it's a brilliant, brilliant self-development experience. And then you can either add it to some of the things that you're already doing, the career that you're in, or something on the side, or even a full-time career. It allows you to further your learning, further your education with the skills you're learning, and it will definitely transform the way that you experience the world. What is neuro-linguistic programming? Well, it's a do-with process. It's a professional relationship between yourself as a practitioner and the client or the group that you're working with, and you're doing the process, you're using and utilizing various processes of NLP with the people you're working with. You're never really doing something to someone or on someone. It's a professional relationship where the person that you're working with or the people that you're working with will explore where they are. They will explore the outcomes that they want to achieve, but they will also take accountability of creating the changes that are required, the actions that are needed that will help them to get to where they want to be. These are just a few definitions of what NLP is, an attitude and a methodology that leaves behind a trail of techniques and methods that are empowering, enabling, that help people to shift their mental and emotional state very quickly. We look at the study of subjective experience and how it affects our behavior, our emotions, how it influences our state and the results that we get. And it's a realization that our words do not describe the world that we live in, but rather they determine the world that we live in. We look a lot of language and how language and the language that we use, in particular, the language inside our minds, how that influences our state, the results that we get. And through the methods and techniques, you'll be able to help people change and improve the language, and also change and improve their behavioral and mental strategies that can change and transform the outcomes, the results, and ultimately the life that they're living. As you discover how to, in quotation marks, operate your mind, you can very easily start to put the past behind you. You can learn how to become more present, and you can become a master creator of your future. So this is a real opportunity for you to step into your power, to access your own unlimited tools and resources that will allow you to grow, that will allow you to evolve and change how you experience life, your relationships, your work, your career, your finances, your health, the way that you communicate with your children, your partner, your colleagues. This is a real opportunity to take that missing piece of the jigsaw in life, the missing piece of education, that if we'd all been given, we'd probably be a completely different empowered species. So where can you use NLP? You can use it on a one-to-one personal coaching basis, in groups, in workshops. You can offer online courses. You can definitely massively use it on yourself for your own life. But you can do things like clarity coaching, life coaching. You can help people get motivation, help them to move forward towards where they want to be in their life, whether it's a actual goal like setting up a business or writing a book or launching classes or a clothing line. There's some of the things I've done with people, but it could be helping people move away from things like anxiety or stress, overthinking, teaching them to be more mindful, helping them to move forward towards where they want to be, away from the things that are holding them back or away from the things that have happened. It allows you to help people in so many different ways. You can even use it with sports, the way that you think in terms of your mindset when you're doing an activity or a sport. As I've said, I work with teenagers. You can work with teenagers, children, adults. You can help people in your work environments. A lot of people that have done the training then set up as in-house practitioners and coaches to their colleagues, their staff, their teams. You can help people who are doing public speaking, relationship coaching, business coaching. You could do teamwork exercises, help people with their parenting skills, health challenges. There's so many things you can do with this training. So if you're considering all of the things that you can do as a practitioner or coach, or let's think that you've been looking at learning new skills and going into coaching. If you start to consider how your life would improve if you were more aware of how to deal with your mind and your emotions and your thought patterns, if you think about how your own life would improve personally, and if you think about how you'd be living with the results that you'd be having just from the way that you altered, changed, improved, or enhanced the way your mindset was working, You might start to think now about some of those things, how your relationships might improve, or your social life, or even your finances or your health, if you were to be able to shift gear quite quickly with the way that your mind is operating. And then you might start to think beyond yourself to who you could help professionally. Now, you might have a network of people, you might have colleagues, you might have a social media following that you could put your skills out to. You might be a personal trainer who's offering something physical, but it could now offer something mental. You might think of all of the people that you haven't yet thought of who are struggling with their mental health or finding clarity or motivation. There's a lot of people that need helping, but there's so many ways you can utilize these skills professionally. And perhaps as you think about how you will use these skills in your life and for the people that you love and care for, and professionally, can you think of anyone else? Internationally, you can work online, worldwide now. So many people are open to working online. Who else could you help with all of these skills? Our work starts with theory. We look at the structure of the mind, but we also look at what's known as the presuppositions of NLP, which help us to move past who and how we are to become a practitioner, to have a bit more of a neutral, open space with our thinking and feeling so that we're not projecting our own beliefs onto the people that we're working with. And these are just some of the presuppositions, respecting the other person's map or model of the world, because we all have our own model and map of the world. And we're entering into the client's map to explore their subjective experience mentally and emotionally and how they're behaving so that we can best help assist and expand that map and model of the world. We're going to look at how to move past resistance in clients and other people, how you can develop your rapport, your language skills, your physiology, your ability to use words that they use so that they feel that there's a trust, a connection, a professional relationship. You're going to learn how to become in charge of your mind, which will influence your results. And all of the techniques and methods are going to show you how you can coach and help other people become in charge of their mind and therefore their results. All of the procedures that you're doing and helping with the people that you're working with will increase their choices. People can often go to coaches, therapists, counselors, and feel confused after sessions and feel like they've decreased their choices or feel limited from the labels that are given to them or the diagnosis or the lack of tools or resources. But from using these coaching skills, you'll be able to increase people's choice and step beyond the map that is presented to explore and expand the territory the person lives through. This is a brief explanation of the NLP communication model. So we have events that happen outside of us externally, but we also have experiences internally with our thoughts. So something could be happening at work outside of yourself, but you could be thinking about it internally. So it's an external situation, and you could be experiencing it as you think about it when you're at home internally. But whatever happens outside, whether you're looking on social media, whether you're communicating in a relationship, or whether there's a work situation, you take in your environment through your senses. So you see through the visual, you hear through the auditory, you feel through the kinesthetic, you take in aspects of smell, the olfactory, and also the gustatory, the tastes. But because there's so much in every space that you're in every second, millions and millions of bits of data, your brain, your mind filters the information. It deletes aspects, it distorts and generalizes information so that it can be translated into an internal representation where you hold on to a smaller amount of the information and not the entire space. That internal representation that you have inside your head for whatever it is that's happening in your life will probably be an inner voice talking, mental pictures, or even scenes and scenarios for how your thoughts are formed. So you'll have sounds and pictures, and you can probably relate to that now. You probably see things in your mind or hear yourself discussing things with your inner voice. Those internal representations will influence your state, your emotional state, which will influence your physiology, your body. And as that continues to go around, it will influence your behavior. And that's what happens with people. So someone could be thinking about work, they have an internal representation, a scene that they see, it leaves them feeling anxious, they feel it in their body, and they start thinking negatively. So from whatever's happening externally, we represent it internally, it influences us, and it determines our results and our behavior. But we can change those internal representations. We can install better patterns, better inner voices through the modalities and techniques that we use, which can influence the behavior more positively. We go into a lot more detail around the science of the mind on the training. But as I've said, our internal experience is pictures, sounds, which lead to feelings, smells, and also elements of taste. And we have the words that we use, which is known as auditory digital in NLP. We have the words that we use, the self-talk. Everything is formed and structured inside of our head. We're going to look at eye patterns on the training. You're going to be able to understand how people are structuring their thinking. You won't know what they're thinking, but you'll get to understand how they're thinking. So if a person's eyes tend to move as you're looking at them up to their left, if a person's eyes tend to move up to their left, it's likely that they're having a visual recall. So as they're talking to you, there's a picture that they've accessed or a movie that they've accessed, which they're using in their language, in their communication to you. They can access sounds, auditory recall. And as I've mentioned, self-talk. When someone is engaging in self-talk, even if they're not talking, it's likely that their eyes are down here. And as people are communicating, they can be constructing, thinking of how things will be, thinking of how things will sound, so how they'll look and how they'll sound. And again, people will drop down into their kinesthetic, into their feelings. So we'll explore this in greater detail, but you'll be able to understand how someone is structuring their thoughts. You're going to be able to teach people to anchor, to change states quickly in any place, in any space. And you can try this now. Maybe close your eyes, listening to the sound of my voice. And remember a time, a specific time, where you were really relaxed. And just go back to that specific time right now, into that space where you were relaxed. And as you go there, perhaps you can see the space that you're in, the environment. Maybe you can hear the sounds or the experience which led you to feel relaxed. You may even be able to notice yourself feeling more relaxed now as you see what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what you feel. And you can open your eyes. So as you access past positive states, it could be for motivation, it could be to feel empowered, it could be to feel confident, it could be to feel happy. We can use specific times to recall them, experience them in your mind, and then we can amplify them. We'll go through processes where we can amplify and make those states stronger, more powerful, more positive. So you can change and transform how you feel in the present, or if you've got something that you need to do like public speaking, or you want to feel more in control and less anxious in a place and space. So there's just a taster of some of the things that will be covered, and it gives you an experience of how it's taught through the training through our Zoom online PowerPoint training. But the syllabus as a whole, we start with the theory, the history of NLP, the science of the brain. We'll look at the unconscious mind, and we'll start with how to coach people, where you'll get lots of one-to-one sessions in the first weekend, coaching, working on goals, goal setting, establishing goals and outcomes, and utilizing all of the skills that you've learned. You'll look at eye patterns, as I've just touched on, body language, how to understand people's representational systems from their eyes, from their words, from their physiology. You'll get to understand a deeper sense of sensory acuity, being able to observe whether the processes that you're doing are being understood, received, and if they're working from very subtle shifts that a person will exhibit. And then the main body of the work looks at fast interventions, how to make changes in the mind very quickly for anxiety, overthinking. You'll be able to teach people mindfulness and how to be present. You'll look at how to work with limiting beliefs, and you can even work with foods and habits. You'll look at the power of language and how to use it, how to understand it, and how to understand people beyond their words and the meaning that you've already attached to the words that you already know. You'll be able to move past that and get a clear, more neutral stance on understanding language. You'll be able to use questions and language to get to the specific and root cause very quickly. You'll be able to change emotional states, overcome negative emotions, expand your thinking, the client's thinking, increase their motivation and confidence, and also end in a conflict. You'll be able to develop better behavioral strategies. And all of this you'll be able to apply to your own life, not just the people you're working with. What's included in your course and your training, should you come on board, as I said at the start, is an audio study of the whole course, which a lot of students re-listen to after the training as it just accelerates their training. You also get post-course videos of themes and techniques that you log into online. They're about 10 minutes long, where I'm refreshing and recapping each technique. But you also get the whole 9-day training as a recording, so you can revisit the whole course in your own time. You'll be certified once you've taken your examination with ABNLP, the American Board of Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is an international certification, and it's an approved training by ANLP in the UK. Your course manual that's posted to you wherever you are in the world allows you to use your manual to get to work straight away. You don't have to type anything out or get anything done. You literally take the pages out of your manual. You've got a starter pack there to use the processes with the people that you're working with. In addition to all of this, you will also get 4 one-to-one supervision sessions with me, your trainer, online, where we look at expanding your business, developing your practice, and improving your skills. So if you have any specific questions, please contact me. I'd love to answer your questions or talk to you more about the training. I work with small groups, no more than 10 people, so that I can really supervise everyone. And it's a really nourishing experience that is going to set you up for the rest of your life with skills, tools, resources that will empower your own life, but with so much that you'll be able to give to others with the work that you're doing or the work that you're going to do. If you want to experience some more of my coaching work, find me on Instagram at Coach Cameron Beddy. You can see how I work and how I interact with people online and how I share more knowledge around mental health and mindset. I also have my best-selling book, Your Mind is Your Home, which is available on Amazon. And if you do have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer your questions, or I'd love to have you come on one of the trainings. Have a great day.